It couldn't have been a better year for Maruti with the stock also reaching the 10,000 level mark. I am in conversation with Mr. RC Bhargava. So many thanks for taking your time out and speaking to ET now. Let me first begin by talking about it's been a stupendous year. And what is going to be the strategy from here for 2018? Like what is in store for investors, for consumers from Maruti Suzuki?
No, I don't think anything very different is going to happen. We concentrate on trying to make products which incorporate as many of the customer requirements as we can possibly understand and meet. At the same time, we keep this philosophy that whatever we do is capable of improvement. So making continuous improvement in everything which we do is part of the company's basic philosophy. And I think we'll continue to do that. Try and make good products which the customer will like and keep making efforts to improve over what we are doing.
You know, so 2017, you had put up a target of a double-digit growth. How has that panned out, and what is going to be the strategy for 2018 in terms of, maintaining the growth or perhaps bettering it, and also the new products that are, of course, lined up from Maruti Suzuki?
We will certainly achieve our double-digit target for this year. Probably do a little better than 10%. And next year, we would like to do double digit, but we have yet to have our meetings for the finalization of next year's budget, which basically means the marketing and sales budget. That meeting only is held in March. The constraint next year will probably come not from the customer demand, but will come from production capacity. So my guess is that when we do the budget, we will have to see how much we can stretch our facilities to try and get to the double-digit figure. Right. But at this point, I can't say what the target for next year will be.
That's a very interesting point that you've told us, that the constraint may just come in from the production side. How will you ensure that we are able to meet the demand that comes in from customers, and how will we ensure that all plants work to its maximum capacity and thereby delivering the product in time?
Well, all plants have been working not only to their rated capacity, but they've all done better than rated capacities. Right. I think this has been happening for the last 30 years. So I don't think we should have much worry about the ability of either Maruti here or Suzuki in Gujarat to make sure that the plants work to full capacities and better than full capacities. But despite working to full, we may still be short of capacity.
Which is obviously good news for Maruti Suzuki, because there's a lot of demand. But I also need to ask you the fact that the stock has reached the 10,000 level mark. There has been a lot of buzz around a stock split, and you yourself, while addressing a few of us just a while ago, said that there is no merit in going for a stock split. Just if you can help us understand the rationale behind it.
See, a stock split doesn't really add any value to the customer, to the investor, because to the extent you split the stock. Some people argue that if you make the stock cheaper, right, more people will come into the market and the price will go up higher. I don't think that this price will be driven up by individual customers bidding for large quantities of stock, because the bulk of the stock is held by institutional investors. Individual investors are very, very small part of the market. And they don't bid to push the price from 8,000 to 9,000 to 10,000. It's the institutional customers which do it. So And for institutional customers, whether the price is 10,000 or 15,000 makes no difference because they buy
Right.
in millions.
Right. Let me also talk about the electric vehicle plan, because now the game perhaps is changing. That's what many believe. In fact, in the morning, I'm given to believe that Mr. Osamu Suzuki and you also met the Prime Minister. Did you apprise them of the EV plans, and how will things really shape up for the electric vehicle side? Because we still lack infrastructure, which is the very key to ensuring the success for electric vehicles.
Electric vehicles are a very new idea in India. And I think at this point, nobody really has enough information or data relevant to the Indian environment as to what needs to be done here, not only in terms of infrastructure, which, as you said, is very important, but also in terms of making cars affordable to the people who are the majority buyers of cars in India.
Right.
75% of the cars sold in India are the so-called small cars, below 4 meters.
Right.
Their prices are below 5 lakhs. How to make those cars still affordable to that segment of the market if you electrify them?
Right.
That's a challenge also. That question is not so much of a challenge in the Western countries because their affordability of a car is not such a big issue.
Right.
It is in India. So we have to look at all these things. So I think it'll take a little time for all the parameters to become clear and for us to get into a more
Right.
concrete kind of roadmap which has some reality to our ground conditions.
The government is talking about by 2030 we will ensure that all cars on the road are
Not all 40%.
even for 40%.
private
I mean,
private
that's a highly ambitious target.
It is an ambitious target. I think it's good to have an ambitious target and make all efforts to achieve that target. And as I said a little while back, as the leading car manufacturer in India, we are committed to electric mobility. And we will make every possible effort to maximize our sale of electric cars.
Right. Mr. Bhargav, there's also a panel of Indian OEMs that have been set up. That is, while they're looking at the Make in India issue and how we can perhaps push Make in India for domestic manufacturers and cars, they're also, in fact, in a way, pushing for a cap on royalty. And that's an issue which for Maruti Suzuki is an important one because you're also paying one of the highest royalties to Suzuki. What's your take on that? And, do you think perhaps many other companies should not be, pushing for something like this?
No, I'm not sure about all the aspects of this so-called panel because I don't believe this was a government. It is not set up by any notification or any such thing. It is a kind of, I would say, informal working group in the ministry to advise. And by the previous secretary, I don't even know if the present secretary and the present minister have okayed what has been done. I don't see the connection between royalty payments and Make in India because the panel was set up to push Make in India.
Right.
The people who were doing this panel represent a small part of the Make in India program. The large part of the Make in India program is done with the foreign FDI. Right. The government's policy, declared policy, the Prime Minister's policy, has been to invite foreign companies to bring their technology and capital into India to make in India.
Right.
So I do not believe that government can even think officially of any policy which is discriminatory against foreign investment.
And it will be counterproductive to
It will be counterproductive. It can't happen. So I don't think this so-called group has any real relevance.
Before I let you go, and this is my last question, in January the Auto Expo is coming. What can we expect from the Maruti stable?
I'm sorry, this is something I know nothing about. I don't go into what is going to be at the Auto Expo. I have no idea what is going to be there.
All right. On that note, many thanks for speaking to us and taking your
Thank
time
you.
out. Thank you so much.